This is a demonstration of picking up and setting down an object. There's a couple ways to do this. Um, what I'm going to show is what I think is easier, which is it's just sort of a trick. And basically the idea is, you put the hand on it, you duplicate it, and then you parent the duplicate to the hand, and then you animate the visibility so that they kind of swap visibility in the moment it picks it up. So I'm going to switch to IK mode. It doesn't have to be, but just might be easier, a little quicker. Obviously, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time making a pretty animation. I'm just going to do the basics. So let's just start his hand here. I'm going to hit S to set keyframe, and um, I'll go ahead and set it on the fingers as well. S. Whoops. Did that have frame 10? Let me undo that. Okay, let's go to frame 10 and move this down. Something like that. Okay. And, you can certainly spend more time than this doing a nicer grasp. I'm just trying to do this pretty quick. I have auto keyframe on, so it'll keyframe, my little adjustments for whatever I've already keyframed automatically. Maybe this index could curl a little bit more. Okay, close enough for this demonstration. Okay, so here's the trick. So let's call this, ball stationary. Maybe. And then I'll duplicate that and I'll call this ball parented. Okay, and then I'm going to do a couple different ways of what you want to parent it to. I mean, if I'm going to stick with IK, I could just parent it to this IK controller itself. So let's go ahead and do that. So make sure I select the right thing. So the ball parented, so that's the child, and then shift select this control, and then P for parent. And now let's go forward with the animation and just move this up so we can see the ball moving with the hand. Okay. Whatever. Again, just keeping it simple. Aha, there must be something I didn't keyframe. Something I must have. Or is that? So there must be some attribute I failed to keyframe here. So I just undid that. Let's just hit S again. And it could be that I thought I hit S before, but just make sure you hit S every time. Because if I hadn't already rotated, it might not keyframe the rotation. I'm not sure. Let's see if this was working now. Okay, yeah, that's what we were. All right. So obviously, that's not what you want. You want the ball to not be in his hands here. So we're just gonna keyframe the visibility on this guy. So let's go ahead and turn it off. 0 is the same as off. And it's frame 10 that we make the switch. So I'll keyframe it here. It's off on frame 10. And then on frame 11, it's on. And keyframe that. So over this one frame, it switches from off to on. And let's just now do the opposite on this guy. So on frame 10, make sure it's keyframed on. Frame 11, make sure it's off. That is picking up an object. Where there's a little bit of a catch to this is that if you change the timing of the animation of when he picks up the ball, you have to make sure you also change the timing of the visibility animation. So, not that big of a deal, but sometimes, if you're doing something like scaling your animation, it just seems a little tricky, but you'll just have to go back and fix that. So let's go ahead and set it back down while we're at it. So I'll just go here and let me just get in my front view so I can very carefully have it touch that. Okay. Go ahead and hit S just to be sure we got everything. Okay. Don't know what happened there. I don't know why that's popping. That is very strange. So let's see if any. God. So this is actually a good problem to demonstrate with. This is this advanced skeleton rig. I think I've seen this before where this acts really weird, like it doesn't want to animate past a certain frame. And usually the trick is, I'm just going to go ahead and save this. Just calls pick up object. When I've seen this happen before, my trick is to just make a new scene and then import the scene into that scene. Let's just hide the joints here. Let's see that. Okay, let's see if it's still showing the same strange behavior. Oh wait, I think it's already, yeah. It's already working now again. So yeah, that's just some funny advanced skeleton rig issue. I never figured out why that happens. Okay, so I'm just setting it back down. So pick it up and set it back down, and then we'll just move the hand up out of the way. Maybe set a keyframe on this as well. And, relax the fingers. Okay. Whoops, I could have sworn I set a keyframe on that back here. There it is. Okay. Alright. Alright, and then we just have to do the opposite here. So we'll duplicate this guy again and Shift P. Actually, yeah, well, since we set it down in a different spot, so we have to duplicate it again. So I'll Shift P to unparent it, and I'll call this duplicate stationary 2, and we'll just have to animate the visibility on both these again. So you can see so right here is where it should be off up to this point. And the very next frame, I'll go ahead and turn it on. And then just do the opposite with the one in his hand. So go back here and keyframe it on. Very next frame, turn it off. So, okay, so he grasps it, picks it up, sets it down, and let's go. And from the viewer point of view, it all looks like, it never, it looks like one continuous ball. You won't be able to tell the difference. So the other way to do this is just it's more complicated. You have to if you want it to be the same object, you have to create constraints. So you would create one constraint to keep the ball stuck to the table, and another constraint to um, make it stick to the hand, and then you animate what's called the constraint weight, and have the weight shift from one to the other. I just think this one's it just feels a little more foolproof and kind of simpler for me. They're both fine.